Hello, my name is Andrew Mudge. I'm the writer-director of The Perfect Goosies.
Hi, my name is Maria Ruda, and I am the producer of The Perfect Goosies.
And now you are watching the DVD director-producer commentary. This is a year-long project. We had pre-production from June till about October, and then we filmed for 8 days in October and November in the towns of Ipswich and Fairhaven, Massachusetts, and some other locations, but that was the bulk of it. And then I edited for forever and tried to raise money and edit and raise money more. And finally, it's almost September,
And
and I'm taking it
just,
out to Telluride next week,
finishing
and
that.
it's finally done. And this is
It's
it.
pretty much like a mini feature. The
Well-
amount of work and time that got put into
Yeah,
this.
it sort of does feel that way.
Yeah, there's the Crane Estate in Ipswich, Mass.
This is the inside of Fairhaven High School.
Recipient of the J. Johnson Jr. Einstein Award.
The headmaster. Why don't we talk about Will Lyman?
Yeah, Will was somebody I'd known. I worked in casting for a few years in Boston, and I knew of him as an actor in the area.
By the way, that's Maria's mother.
That
on
was
the
my
far-
mom.
on the far right. On the far right.
There's Jan. So Will had appeared in this movie called Welcome to the Dollhouse that was written and directed by Todd Solondz, and he did a great job in that role, and I thought, he'd be perfect probably to play the headmaster. So we wrote to Will and talked to him on the phone, and he agreed to come on.
Yeah,
he
was great.
As long as we fed him his Cocoa Pebbles, he was fine.
As
we
long
kept
as
him
what?
pretty
His
happy.
payment was Cocoa Pebbles?
Yeah, that was his payment.
Yeah,
You
we
don't
pa-
remember that?
We paid cast in sugar cereals.
In sugar cereals, yeah. I hope they're okay with that.
This is the pledge that, of course, nobody understands. People always say, "What are they saying in this pledge?"
I know.
If you call me or email me, people, I will reveal the truth. And backwards, it's like a Led Zeppelin song. If you play it backwards, it tells the secrets to, like, I don't know, God knows what.
The LK network or something.
These kids were great. We had them for so long, and they all worked so well and totally got into it.
Yeah, so many kids
Like
there.
this next shot which was the longest shot in the movie. I think it was like 4 or 5.
How many takes was
takes,
it?
4 or 5 takes, but I think it was like 3 or 4 hours right there, because it just took a while to light this area. And
Getting the kids to
T.R. Boyce, the first
have some
assistant
direction.
director, T.R. Boyce did a great job, and I tell him that every day, or at least I try to. The cars, the kids, like, we needed, like, right away when I wrote the script and I met with Maria and Nicole and Justin and a few other people, the clearest thing was that we needed a ton of kids and a ton of cars. And so we had this sort of thing going on where we would ask kids to be in the movie. We had articles in newspapers, and like, we just put out sort of the call for kids. But like the deal was they had to bring their parents, and their parents had to bring like a really nice car, like all these nice cars. And we got lucked up. People were like renting cars. Remember
They
that?
were renting cars if they didn't have a decent enough car to bring. It's incredible. And these kids probably missed maybe 3 days, 4 days of school to do this.
I call this shot the Bed Bath & Beyond towel shot.
Those towels were bought at Bed Bath & Beyond, and now they are, again, property of Bed Bath &
Yeah,
Beyond.
you took them right back. It's kind of like
I took 'em right
a
back.
metaphor of independent filmmaking. Like,
Yeah.
buy something and then just return it.
And this scene right here was added pretty late in the game. We needed something out to tie in the movement that he does with his arms and hands to the hug. So
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
that
kind of
works
a
pretty well.
supplemental to suggest, what this arm thing is all about. It was fun, out there at Cranes with all these kids. And
I know.
I think they were really into it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope they were really
They
into
They
it.
might
They
be
seemed
throwing
really
apples
into
at the
it.
screen at the premiere. we haven't discovered that yet. This is the Goosey Mobile, like we call the Goosey Mobile, and it was a car. By the way, in this shot,
yeah, I was gonna say
there's a fly. Like, you can see a fly buzzing around the actor's head, and like,
Yep, there it is. If you see it on the large screen, you
I
can
always thought,
definitely
like, that's
see the
perfect.
fly in
Like,
there.
I love it. Like, how did I get so lucky? Like, did he bring his own flies? Like, was there a wrangler, a fly wrangler?
It's one of those beautiful things about filmmaking that happens.
Yeah, every once, you get lucky. But this car, well, I'll tell you what.
Well, let's talk about Bob Jordan for a second. Bob Jordan plays the dad in this, and And Bob has got such a great character actor. He was in this short film that we saw. It was called The Man from Pawtucket.
He was also like, he used to be like an extra in Columbo. Like every week he was like Columbo's like nemesis. I mean, can't you just picture him in like a Columbo episode?
Definitely.
It's perfect.
Yeah, he's so perfect.
Anyway, I found him. I tracked him down in Holbrook,
I know.
Massachusetts.
You're so obsessed with him playing the father.
And I asked
You
him to
had
do
to
it.
have him.
And he showed up faithfully every morning.
He did.
About 2 hours before he was supposed
Yep.
to.
With his pack of cigarettes, smoking away.
The kids are saying honk the honk, which was like sort of like a break off of like I wanted the names to be the Gooseys. Like I thought I needed a last name for this family, and I liked George Goosey Jr. and George Goosey Sr. And I just thought of Goosey, and like it's a funny name, and I kind of have a funny last name. I mean, I do more than kinda, and I think like because this is an autobiography of my life, and because I was George Goosey, and this is Maria. You're not even crying. I mean, this is when you're supposed to. Your eyes swell up with tears.
Well,
no,
I just want to tell a really quick, interesting story. When we were at the Nantucket Film Festival and the movie was playing there, this older gentleman came up to me and he was telling me how he was George Goosey when he was in school, and I just thought it was really
well,
great.
I was this teacher when I was.
Oh, here's Andrew Mudge making his
that
cameo
is
appearance.
me before I shaved, and
I liked the beard.
I don't miss that beard.
You
at all.
don't miss the beard?
No.
I like the beard. And that room, by the way, I spent many a days in. That was my detention hall in high school.
That was where Maria had detention.
That means he can't hear.
This is Susan Hearn, and she's a very talented local Boston actress, and
You should give out her headshot while you're at it.
Brava.
This is one of your favorites, right?
Yeah, this is, I think-
This is a good one.
I don't know. I used to babysit that kid back there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is this Indian guy that we found in a supermarket, and like he didn't really speak any English. We actually, believe it or not, we contacted SAG, and no one in the union we couldn't find any really Indian actors in Boston, and we didn't want to go to New York. I didn't want it too much of a hassle, so I got him. But I had to do a voiceover, like had to bring somebody else and do his voiceover because his accent was so thick. And this is my friend Brian Kickham, who played the tennis teacher, and he's like one of my oldest friends from growing up. And this was
in Andrew's parents' house,
yeah, this is like the nicest room in their home.
and we completely
we-
raped and pillaged.
Yeah, we did, and we like
Took
put
over.
all their nice furniture out on the lawn, I think, and it was hilarious. My dad was like, "What?" He went jogging, and he came back, and he was like, "What's going on here?"
I know.
I think I had told him.
Huge trucks outside, tons of people.
They will tease him.
These are shots that we did, like I said, at my parents' house because when you need a location, like you have to take over a whole place, and with the crew we had, I thought about asking like people to borrow the inside of some crappy home, but then
At one point, I think we were
just built a
thinking
set.
about the basement in my apartment.
Yeah, and this is in my this is in like an old barn at my
Yeah.
parents' house. This is actually the set of a house we found in Natick, and they were pretty kind to let us. I think there was like a dog barking the whole time. Though I think we had to like take care of
Take
that
care
dog.
of the dog.
I won't say anything more. No, just kidding. This was just a lot of kids in a room, and it was sort of like, just getting kids together, and I had the vision of these shots way back when, and they worked out really well. And then
Yeah.
Justin Sherritt, the second AD, was choreographing all this tennis stuff, and I'm pretty happy with the way, it came out. Maria, why don't you talk about like where we were when we filmed this and like what was going on?
Okay.
Because I heard there was some trouble.
It was a possible mutiny on our hands. We shot this at Fairhaven High School, and it was pretty much done over the course of one day, one very long day. It started at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it went until probably about sunrise the next day. And I think you were saying how
It was like a
we
21.
saw the buses pulling into the school when we were leaving.
Yeah, we'd been there
It
like
was about
21
a
hours.
21-hour day.
And the buses were coming in,
And
But this is just the auditorium. We shot the other stuff on a different day.
yeah, the funniest stuff was the crew placing bets as to what time we were going to finish, and somebody said
That's
2 o'clock in
Sam.
the morning, and I laughed.
My friend Sam Robinson in that last shot. Yeah, I'm surprised that
We didn't get kicked out.
yeah, that we didn't get kicked out.
Thank you, Fairhaven High, if you're watching this DVD.
The janitor. Thank you, Manny the
Thank
janitor.
you, Manny the janitor, for being so patient with us.
This is one of those car shots that took like forever to set up because it's always
It was hard to get them to line
It's
up
hard to
that
figure out
way.
like when your cars are never going to stop the same way.
Yeah.
A lot of people, didn't like that I
That
wrote this in the script, and they
line,
didn't
yeah.
like this line. You say tomato, we say tomato, whatever the line is. But I really,
Whatever the line is.
I didn't write the script.
I know, it's not like you wrote
No,
it or
but
anything.
I really liked it. I don't know. I really had fun with it.
Yeah.
One of the funniest stories I think is the Goosey mobile, like the car that's about to come in right now, that the dad drives. Like we bought it actually in New York City and drove it up. We never I was like the pre-production vehicle, and like it never was registered or insured, and we would just drive it around, and it broke down like so many times. And,
Tell them about the cops chasing
yeah,
after
I actually
you
was
one
once
day.
driving, and a cop started, because I had license plates from like a tractor from like the 80s, like the early 80s, and a cop started following me, and I like hid the car in a church parking lot, and I like hid in the church. I was like sanctuary, like World War II or something, and then when I came out, the cop was gone, and I got back in. But
This sound you hear right now, the sizzling, is actually a steak grilling.
yeah, Chris Anderson did all the special effects, the sound effects, and
That's so great.
and there's like all kinds of funny things. Like I'm actually every day I learn more and more about what random noise is in there. The car is actually the Goosey mobile was like a Model A Ford mixed with like a '58 Cadillac. One of the interesting things is that a lot of people had really different reactions about the ending. Like this, what was the sign going to say? I think, I don't know. I think that some people just felt like it should have a different ending. That maybe it wasn't like that. It was too sappy. That it wasn't like edgy
Right.
enough or something.
I remember I had taken the script over to someone in Boston to read it, possibly invest in the film, and they had said that, that it wasn't edgy enough, that the sign about giving
Yeah.
hugs was just too sappy.
I sort of always feared that, but I also sort of liked the idea of it, and it was sort of challenging to me, and it just felt right. Like whether or not it was sappy or edgy or whatever, it just sort of felt like the right way to end the story, and I'm glad I did. I mean, I like the ending. I think it works with a lot of different things going on, different emotions. I really liked the violin thing. That worked out pretty
I know,
well.
I love the violin.
And the sweaters, that was we still have a ton of sweaters that we're trying to get rid of.
They're on sale, by the way, if
Yeah, if
anybody
you want a
wants
sweater,
to buy one.
if you want a sweater, call Maria. She's living in Ghana.
Send a check to West Africa.
I had this idea that I wanted all the kids to start throwing apples at the sign, and
Yeah, there go the
Maria
apples.
like aggressively protested.
No, I did not.
Okay, maybe
I
not
d-
aggressively, but
I was watching the bottom line. And
your
it
only
was
reason is-
growing
yeah,
steadily.
because you thought the apples would be too
I thought it was
expensive.
too much. Okay, and with the apples, by the way, we handed out those apples on set, and the kids started to eat the apples. And Andrew got on the megaphone and started saying, "Don't eat the props, please. They're for throwing purposes only.
Children, do not eat the apples.
Please refrain from
apples
eating
are-
the apples."
I think
Such a beautiful score, but Christopher Libertino did the score for this, and he did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
Really
I'm
good
real happy
job.
with it. Walter Crapo was my was a guidance counselor in my high school. He wasn't my guidance counselor, but he was the guidance counselor to go to when you needed guidance. I evidently didn't. No, I think the hardest thing was that, obviously, was finding the locations.
Finding locations,
And
yeah.
Fairhaven came pretty easily because you went there. But Crane's Estate, I had looked at like 40 different locations, and Crane's Estate was always the one I wanted from the beginning. But
Yeah, it was the only one we could get. Basically, all the other ones rejected us.
but it's interesting because it was just the price tag was too high.
It
And
was too high.
It was way out of the budget.
But then they were able to work with us.
Yeah.
And
But before they were able to work with us, until before we got
Yeah.
down and begged, I went to like so many schools.
I know.
And some of them that really would have worked, like St. Mark's and Roxbury Latin, but everybody said no.
Yeah.
Everybody and
I think one of the main issues was that they had a problem with the content of the script and how it was going to reflect on the school.
do you remember like when I was obsessed with getting Bradford College? And I was like writing these letters, and they were like, I was on the phone, and I was like, they were like, we don't even let the Boy Scouts play baseball on our field, and I'm like, I'm not the Boy Scouts. I'm making a movie, please. And
Nothing worked
no,
with them,
nothing.
though. They wouldn't budge at all.
I always
But
had
I'm
this.
pretty happy with the Crane Estate. I think it worked out really well.
Yeah, it worked out great. These are all the
Some of
these
the
are-
extras
These are the
that were
some of the
featured.
extras. I couldn't.
Some of the many kids that worked on
name
it.
them all because then you'd be sitting here watching this movie for another week.
And
But,
you're having to listen to us talk.
hey,
for
these
the
are all
next
the people
hour.
who gave me chipped in a dime or two or three.
or four.
But they're great. They're like friends and family. I mean, how else
Yeah,
do you
you
make a
have to.
short independent film?
Exactly.
You
I'm
get your
surprised.
towels from Bed Bath & Beyond, and you return them, and you get money from your friends and family. I did get a grant from Kodak, which covered
That
most
totally
of the
helped
film.
for the cost of the film.
But thanks for watching.
Hope you enjoyed it.